Hello. Hi, everyone. How's it going? The microphone's moved itself. That's in the way of George Harrison. Might have to have it. Let's have it over here a little bit. How about that microphone? Can you see me and hear me, though? Is everything okay? Hopefully, there's not too much of a delay between you hearing me and me saying stuff. I think it's all bouncing, so it should all be working. I'll wait to hear back, though. Hi, Monica. You've packed down 99% of your game collection now. It's going to be a big relief, isn't it? When it's all done. I don't like it's been nearly 2 years since we did it since I did it when we moved here. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to it ever happening again. Put in as many games as I've got into a box and stuff. And that's with kind of being forced to cut down when you realise the kind of enormity of it. I feel like it's built up again in secret behind me. And it would be overwhelming again. And hi, Matthew. We are here to play Mind Your Business, and it is on Kickstarter right now. I've put a link to the campaign page in the description. I can't put it in the corner of the screen while I'm live, unfortunately. And yeah, you can back it there. This is a prototype. It should give you an idea of what the final game is going to be like. But I'll say straight away, like the meeples are a huge thing that is going to be different. You see, they're just orange and purple meeples in my prototype. You can go on the Kickstarter page and see what the beautiful gnome and goblin figures that you can get on there are. But yes, we are in a mine. We are gnomes trying to get the most riches, basically. You can play this in a load of different ways. You can play it competitively, you can play it cooperatively, or you can play it solo. Each box that you get, so if you just get the game, it's for 1 to 2 players. But if you get another copy of the game, you can make a bigger grid and you can play it with up to 4 players. And there are different scenarios, different difficulty levels, different things that you can add as you go on. So here, I feel like we should be able to, unless I'm achingly slow, we should be able to get a couple of games in here where I can show you just the basics in kind of what's called Chapter 1 of the solo game, where we are just in the mine trying to get stuff done. Event cards are going to get in our way, probably speeding us up, rearranging the mines that we're trying to lovingly arrange. And then we can do Chapter 2 after that, which involves the introduction of a goblin who's going to roam around and make additional problems for us and hopefully not go in our space because he'll eat us, and we don't want that. So this grid in the middle here is the mine. There are 3 different types of resources, types of minerals that we are trying to get from here. We are trying for coal, gems, and gold. And the way that we get these into our carts is to have 2 or more cards lined up. You see how there's different paths through all of the various cards? You want 2 or more cards of the same resource lined up. And we'll do this through our various actions. The mine deck is all shuffled up nice and thoroughly, but also, as you are shuffling, you need to rotate the cards every so often so that you get a nice jumble like this. In the solo game, it's just me in the mine, and every turn, my minecart is going to move 1 space along the perimeter. When I've gone all the way around, that is going to signal the end of our game. And if my lovely button is going to work, there it is. You can see the player aid for the solo stroke cooperative mode. So first of all, we're going to take up to 3 actions. The actions we can do are all on the bottom there. Then we're going to read the sign if it applies and we want to do it. Certain cards have signs on and we will follow those signs to get some bonus actions or get to rearrange the mine a little bit. Then our cart moves along 1 and we refill any gaps in the mine. No goblin card in this scenario. But the things that we can do are move. We can move our gnome figure around in the mine. We can rotate. So once our figure is on a space, we can rotate that card around. We can swap. We can swap the card we're on with an adjacent card. And we can load the cart. So if it's next to some an applicable chain of gems, then then they can get loaded onto the minecart, and that's our point basically. There is an extra thing in the multiplayer game. These serve as the goblin cards when we play with that. But also, it can chain. You draw a certain number of these, and depending on how often a resource comes out, it determines how many points that resource is worth. That's how you can play one of the game modes if you'd like to. But basically, in solo, we are trying to get the most points. All the gems, all the cards that we grab are worth a point each. And let's see, on my table, we need to get 30 to consider this a win. 36 to 38 would be a mighty mucker, and 39 or more would be a major minor. So that's what we're hoping for. But I think, yeah, I've mentioned the scoring variant. I think I have done enough waffling, and it's time to get down in these mines. Oh, we've got these as well as all the actions that you can do. You have got 3 one-off bonuses. You can not move your cart at the end of this round. You can swap a location that's adjacent to your cart, and you can get 2 extra actions. You can do them; they don't take an action to play, but they are one-offs. You know, once you have used them, that's it for your game. They're great. I should have taken a screenshot and got the meeples up here. It is in the description though. You can check the Kickstarter page. And coincidentally, that's how you can get hold of the game. So yes. We want things leading into the cart, and then we want chains of those resources. Okay, so what would I like to do? What can we see in the mine here that we can get started with? We want paths going to the cart, and we would like as many things as possible. There's also, did that come up? Yes, it's on the player aid. Change camp is another thing that we can do. These camp spaces, see there's a fire on this card in the corner here. This is a camp card, and we can rotate and swap this card as if we were on it. So that's something to bear in mind too. We don't necessarily have to spend an action moving around to start manipulating that card. So what can we see? We can kind of set things up a little bit for future turns. Like this coal path here is a couple long already. If you moved on there and swapped it along, it would be going to the cart next time. It would already have one next to it, but where would it link after that? There's some more coal down here. We can't do too many swaps because we haven't got, a million actions. I think it would be quite nice. We've got gems on both of these cards, so it would be nice to get those together because we could point it to the cart, but the way that it's going, to have it connected to the cart, the other gem card would have to be over here, which isn't ideal. Started in a bit of an awkward situation. We just might not have to collect anything our very first turn and, work towards it later on. Although there is, if we rotated this gem card here and then moved and swapped around, that would be 3 actions though, wouldn't it? Rotate, move, swap, and then I haven't spent an action loading up, which is what I really want. Maybe to do that, we want to just build up to next turn, do a swap with an adjacent card, and then rotate it. So I could have it, I could have it then facing my minecart. I could just load that coal card as an action. But it would be nice to get moving, wouldn't it? There's a lot of gems here. If we could get this curve up there, it's a shame, isn't it? That it's kind of diagonally adjacent rather than like a swappably adjacent. Because we can't move diagonally. So I've swapped the card that I was on. I don't think I just want to load one thing. If we could swap and rotate that card, that would have been great. I mean, we could get on here and swap this one and then rotate it next time. It's just there's a lot of rotations and moves involved there to get like extra gems that might not be helping us too much. We could just go on here at some point and just swap that, and then that's three things. And, clearing the cards off is getting new cards on. And like when the minecart gets down to here, there's already something kind of set up for it. Yeah, we want more things set up for the future, but I think that's okay for now. So I'm going to move again. Second action. And then third action, I think I'll just get on here. Because, yeah, I could just rotate this, and then I'm going to load three cards next time. So I've had my three actions. We read the sign. I'm not on a space with a sign, so we don't do anything there. We move the cart along, and then we refill the mine. I didn't empty anything in it. And you can see how in the multiplayer game, if you're playing, cooperatively, you've got to coordinate because everything you do in the mine is going to mess up the other player. You can't necessarily you can load cards that other people are on, but you can't necessarily manipulate cards that other people are on as well. So you can see in a competitive game as well that you've got to watch out making these combinations. You've got to be aware of where the other people are because you might be setting them up for a really big payday if you're just making a really sweet combination for them. So in this one now, I don't think I should be greedy and try and get any more cards. I'm going to just turn this one, rotate for my first action, and then I could stay on here and the new card would just be kind of where I was. But I think I will just move. So we read the sign before we refill the mine. This is rotate two adjacent. So it might be nice to have some extra coal coming in. It depends what really comes out, doesn't it? I think a load action for sure. I'm not going to get any more than this. And they can go underneath your minecart if you would like. So we'll load those three carts on. So now there's going to be a minecart there. And you can, while the spaces are empty, you can swap with empty spaces if you want this to be there. But then what would my two adjacent pieces be that I'm rotating? Is that my three actions? I rotated, I moved, I loaded. I think that's my three actions. So I can rotate two adjacent now. What would I like to do? It depends what's coming out here, because if it's gems, I could rotate this piece so that it's, ready and waiting. But I'm kind of... I could work this towards being coal next time. And when the cart comes around here for gems, if I rotate these two cards like that, then you see the gem path has been made nicely for when the cart gets here. But that's ages away. That might not be... That's planning too far ahead, I think, a little bit. So we'll do that for now, though. So I move my cart. I'll refill the mine back up. So we've got some gold and some gems. A lovely gem crossroads. Yeah, that might actually change some plans. Because if we go and rotate this one, then that's 3 gems to be collected right now rather than later. Or we just stay where we are. I don't really want to stay where I am, though. I need to get moving, don't I? And you could just rotate this the other way, and it would pick up this gem card. We can't plan ahead too much for later because this card's going to be gone for, like, getting a nice coal path. Yeah, we want to use an action to load, don't we? Let's move, rotate, Yeah, rotate this way. Because this has still got gems on it. And then load. It'll load these 3 cards. So what have we got now? 6? That's my 3 actions. And we're coming up to an event that's going to mess with us. And then filling us back in. We've got a lovely coal card there, but unfortunately, the card moves first. We'd have to do a couple of rotations to get that sorted. And the rotate to adjacent is here, but the cart will have moved on by the time I've used that action. So what can we do that's useful this turn? We've got our extra actions. We could tell the cart to not move this turn. We could even swap a location adjacent to the cart. Two extra move might be nice for getting somewhere. There's a lovely gem piece there, but that's a couple of turns away. And I might end up miles away if I want to try and get these curves and things in. Being on rotate 2 adjacent might not be too bad because I could rotate these 2 and try and work something for later. Just, yeah, having that curve facing the cart means that the other coal's got to be like around here. Yeah, these exclamation mark cards, we're going to get to one in a minute. As you go past them, they are events that are going to mess with you in the solo game. They're going to rearrange the mine, or they're going to make us lose actions or make the cart move an extra space. They're just going to get in your way a few times, so you can't, plan absolutely everything out. I mean, I could just walk up there, swap, and load a card on, but I'm not building anything up then, am I, for later on? But I might spend actions building up, and then the mine's gonna be completely rearranged when I get to that card. Maybe I want to try and get more actions this turn. Move, rotate, move, rotate, move, and then I could use that action. I'm going to use my +2 actions. So I'm going to move, rotate, move, rotate. Oh no, I can't do that one because my 5th one's got to be load. So I'm loading these 2 cards on. I spent my +2 actions. I only got 2 cards out of it. That might not be the best thing. So then we move the cart. I'm not on any sign. And the card says... Oh dear, the grid is changing, but not where I've been messing around with it. Cave in. Discard these 4 cards and then replace them from the deck. So these 4 cards are going away. And is this one of the ones that I need to shuffle on? Cave in. Discard to the bottom of the deck. And then, oh, that's not the deck. That's my lovely cart full of riches. I don't want to shuffle them in. It's Rock Slide that makes the things shuffling. So they go on the bottom of the deck. And then we need to fill in new ones. So starting from the top, jump to camp stroke corner. Camp is all the way over here. Okay, we've got some nice gems or coal. Got another camp. So we can be manipulating those without being there. That'd be nice. Swap 2 adjacent, rotate 2 adjacent, +2 move. They might help us. So our cart is here. We can just load up 1 gem. But that's, a whole action to be doing that. We can use an action to jump to a corner and be like down here. I mean, we can move, swap, rotate, but maybe I want to move here and rotate later on. Like rotate this one so that it has gems. Like facing this way. But then I would like to be ages away. We could move, we could load a card. But then what am I going to do with my last action? I probably don't need to do that rotation. We could rotate. We could move. And we can load what's facing the mine. Just get a card on there. Because then we can swap this later. Have a curve. There's more gems up there, maybe. We don't even have to be over here, though. Because the camp card can swap on its own. I think go up here, jump to camp stroke corner. Or just stay there and do the camp action, yeah. I don't need to go over there, but since it's a camp card, it can just swap by itself. So now we've made a nice trail of 3 gems so far. And this one could swap in. I just can't really get to it to move around. But what if we didn't swap it yet? And I moved here to get my +2 move as the signs action. That happens before the cart moves. Yeah, I think this will be okay. So the cart moves, we refill the mine. So now I've got... I can swap this as a first action. And I'm not going to get to do all of this stuff, am I? Because it would have to be rotated. Yeah, this will be facing the wrong way. We could do other stuff, though. We want to load them. We'll load these 3 cards. So that's 2. And then I want to swap some coal cards. This is already facing the minecart. So maybe we just want to load that next time and build up something like gold here. That's already going to be a couple of gold if that just gets rotated. So I probably want to make my way back over there. So what about... I end up there and swap 2 adjacent. Without it being an action for me. Oh, we could actually have that later. Oh, it has to be 2 adjacent to this. Yeah, swap these as my sign action. Cart moves. Coming up to another event. Jump to camp or corner. Big gold path. Some gems and some gold. Okay. Now I want to rotate here. I don't want to swap. So it could just be move, rotate, and load 2. But can we get a nicer path going over here? Like, gold-wise. Let's say 1. We could swap, swap. Swap, and that's ready for a gold next time. Ooh, yeah, that would be nice. We could swap, because we're on here. And then swap. I want that to be down there, though. And this needs to be rotated. Oh, I had such a great plan. I've undone myself. Let's... I'm going slower than I thought I was going to go, aren't I? I'm getting lost in my own thoughts. What if... Could we be swapping bigger things here? I could be swapping corner to corner. If that would help me any. And get back to this. The minecart moves. Swap. But then move and load is going to be all your actions. I only got 1 camp card out at the moment. I should have just rotated this last time and had it load 2. I can rotate the camp card without being on it. Like, that was my great big plan. We can say don't move the cart. Don't move the cart this time. 2, 3. And then, so the end of the round, I basically get an extra turn without it moving along. So the camp card can rotate for an action, because I don't have to be on the camp card. We can load 4. And then I don't know what I want to do. We could move on to this to get ready to rotate it maybe, or swap it once we know what's coming out. So I'm not on a sign. We move the minecart and see what the event's going to be. Failed brakes, move the cart an extra one. Okay, so that balances out my free don't move. Okay, so, ooh. We've got some nice gold coming in. Right next to our minecart. How can we make that work for us? We've already got a couple of gems next time ready. We've got 1 gold. We could just load that. It's pointing at our lovely cart. We've now got no camp cards because we got rid of our only one. I could go 1, 2. Do you want to spend an action just loading that 1 card on? We could get... Yeah, see if I can get 3 next time. We'll just load that 1 card on. So move along, fill back up. Can I do this with 3 actions? No, because you need to rotate it. My plan was get this in, swap it here, and then you've got a nice path of 3, but it needs rotating. We can still get it. We've got 2 cards right here. We don't need to worry about that as much. Why don't we build up? 1, swap, rotate. I probably don't want to use the action to jump to a corner. No, but I don't want to rotate yet. I want to load. Move. Get these 2 cards. Then first action, rotate. I didn't want to jump to a corner. No camp cards came out. One, 2, load. Oh, a nice little stack of cards. I'm trying to build up here. Hopefully this doesn't destroy my lovely cart. I've only got another turn actually to get something done. This is carbon monoxide detected. Return to the entrance, -1 action this turn. Okay. So I've only got 2 actions. A camp has just appeared. So this is still... There's still 3 ready for next time. I wanted to rotate that one, but now we've had to move away. That's just not going to happen. We've still got 3 coming up. I can't... I could have this swap, but I'd be no better off, because it's a camp card. We'll wait and see what comes out in the future, maybe. We could try and build up. Rotate this, because the last mine we're going to get to grab is from here. So we'd like to have something facing that side. But the other straight coals and things are miles away. I don't really know where to go. Well, being in the empty ones might not be a problem. And load this one. So then next time you go up, you get a new card. I could just 1-2 rotate, but no, that's no good because I got rid of the camp card again. That's no good because I wouldn't be able to load as an action. So we're going to load. I don't know what's going to come out is my problem now. Kind of bet everything on this turn that isn't really even that big. I should have swapped something in probably. It's only 3 cards. And I don't know what's going to come out here for next time. But I don't want to mess this up. Why don't we go 1-2, load. Because if like gems came out here, we could swap up there. It could be great. I don't feel like I've got enough cards here. Enough gems. So. Oh, the minecart moves. We have got gems, and actually a nice little arrangement's come up there. I probably don't want to bother messing around with that. I could just have those loaded. But I don't really know what I'm going to do with these coal. It depends what comes out, because I haven't ended up with any over here. I mean, if we want to be like all the way down in the corner, we could swap these, couldn't we? And then rotate. But I might not be able to do anything on the last turn. Swap and rotate. And then load. It's just that I'm on the corner and I've... But I might not have gotten more than one anyway. So load those. Cart moves. We see what comes out. What if this is a great big... Oh. What if this is a great big... This is quite a big coal streak, actually. So if I... If I swap... and load, this is the biggest thing that I've made all game. I don't need a third action because we're coming round to the start again. I don't know if there's 30 here. What have I ended up with? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 32. So I think okay. Could have done better. What's 32 put me as? Shortest shoveler. So still the bottom rank, but a successful rank, at least. Right, so that is chapter 1, where you're just on your own in the mines. Swapping and rotating and that. So, of course, when you want to set up another one, you need to shuffle the deck up all nice, but you've also got to, flip half of them around every so often, because you want random orientations as well as all sorts of random powers and things that come out. So what's going to happen in chapter 2? So it's the same mine setup, and I'm still going to go around as before. We are going to set up just the same as before, but we have a goblin who is going to appear and is going to get in our way more than the event cards did. And the event cards are still there. But the goblin's got his own deck, and he's going to be taking things away too. We need, I think the same scoring table applies. Yeah, same scoring table applies. You want to try and get more than 30 cards by the end of the game. So let's, again, probably not as expertly shuffled as I'd like, but yeah, I don't want you sitting here watching me shuffle for too many minutes. Let's just do 10 minutes of shuffling, eh? Right. Let's get this grid going again and forget I had it all lovely and laid out, didn't I, in the middle last time. So yeah, I need to shuffle the events as well, don't I? You've of course got different player aids for the competitive mode. Okay, so that is our mine for now. I never even used my swap location adjacent to cart either. Could have used that. Might have made all the difference. And there's my +2 actions. My cart goes back up there slightly too high. Gonna have to. It's gonna have to be a little bit all around. Let's get my events shuffled up. And then we want some of those. I'm back at the entrance, and we want Mr. Goblin down in the corner. So, it's beginning to seem as if the mine won't reopen anytime soon. The owners decided to board up the entrance when a gnome was bitten by a goblin a while back. Apparently, he almost didn't make it out of there. If it weren't for summoning a campfire to scare away the beast, he surely would have been lunch. So many treasures still sit inside the mine, just waiting to be collected. Are you brave enough to dig for them with a hungry goblin lurking in the darkness? So the goblin goes down here. We've got my... so this is the deck I was showing you before. You can use it in the multiplayer game to adjust the values of certain gems rather than every gem being worth a point. It's just a card is a point. You can make the various gems with various prices from game to game. This is also, though, a deck that tells us what the goblin is going to do on his turn. We've now got an additional action. We can reveal. This lets us flip a face down card that we're adjacent to face up, or the space that we're on as well. And then an additional step at the end of the turn, which is on the card anyway, it's draw a goblin card. In round one, he's just going to stand up and wake up, which, like, usually I lie everyone down to make sure we can see them all. Right. Yep. After you refill the mine, yes, I know all of that. I've done all of the steps, haven't I? The final step is to resolve the goblin. So we'll do that on the goblin's turn. What would I like to do? What can I get done the most here? So we've got a nice camp card there. We've got a nice little trail going here, haven't we, of gem cards. The goblin might get in the way from these like great big plans, but I'm thinking you could get this going right to the exit. Well, that's no good, is it? You don't want it snaking just to that exit. One, two, load. He can just load the gold that's pointing to the mine. So we need 30 still again. So do that. We refill the mine, and now the goblin is going to activate. So first turn, just wakes up, just stands up, and is going to start doing stuff from next time. So won't mess up like your very first turn. So I'm not going to be able to load anything this time, but hopefully that'll be okay. I want to rotate. I want to swap. And then be up here again. So we move along. And now the goblin is going to do something. So we look at the gem on here. Is it on some gold? If it is on some gold, it will do this action. If it's not on some gold, it will do this action. If it couldn't do the action it wanted, it will do the action in the X instead. So the goblin is like another player as well. You can't swap or rotate the card that he's on. You can load it onto your minecart. So first of all, he's going to turn the card that the goblin occupies 90 degrees in the direction of the arrow shown. So he's going to turn 90 degrees this way. So he is messing up the mine now. The events, caved in and got rid of sections and columns and stuff, but the goblin is actually, messing stuff about. And then he's going to move the goblin from the card he occupies to this space. Again, you don't want to be on the space with the goblin. The goblin has got, this is the hunt ability, where he will move towards the nearest gnome. The goblin does gobble gnomes, so if any gnome is ever in the same location as a goblin, the game immediately ends in a loss. So we don't want that. Okay, so I've now got... I can't make this work, can I? I haven't got enough I'm going to have to do +2 actions or don't move the cart. Because I can swap, but it's facing the wrong way. Swap, move back, rotate, but then it needs to load. Just don't move the cart. I've got things brewing. Okay, so that's 1. And then I'm going to rotate. So that's facing the cart next time. And then move for 3. The cart's not going to move, but we need to activate the goblin. So is the goblin on coal? No, there's gems and gold on this card. So it's going to rotate the card this way, and it's going to move back down. That's a relief. So we don't have to run away necessarily. So you see these move spaces, a bit more important because you might need to be clearing off from where the goblin is. So now I think we will rotate that there. I'll move on to the +2 move space. Yeah, and we'll load. So quite a nice little payday there. What's that, 5 cards? So we're on 6 in total. It's okay. Then the cart moves along. We need to refill the mine. An event's coming when I go over that next bit. Oh, I've got +2 move. I just wanted to go into the corner because I don't know what's coming up. Unfortunately, not really coal that's going to help that much. I can go down, swap, and load though, and that would be a couple. Look at this lovely gold that's coming up here. That's not going to stay like that, is it? The goblin's going to mess that up. Okay, so we've done all of that. The goblin, is he on gems? No, he's on coal again. He ran away from the gems. He's going to rotate the card, and he's going to come back up. Then yeah, I'm not going to end up on the space next to the gnome. I'm going to go down, swap, load. So there's another 2. I've got no sign. Move the cart, and my event happens. Carbon monoxide detected. Go back to the entrance. So that's going to be bad in terms of trying to affect what the cart's picking up. I'm miles away from it, but I'm miles away from the gnome now as well. No, I am the gnome. I'm miles away from the goblin. Okay. We can collect 1 card at least while I work out what's going to go on. Is he on coal? No, he's not. He's going to rotate this card that way, and he's going to come up to me. So I don't want to be next to him. What I really want is to be on here and to move this down. The only trouble is the nearest gold then is miles away. I think I want to jump to a corner. I don't know what I want to do in the meantime, though. I can... Oh, on a load? I'll just load that single card, because it is pointing to my cart. And I'll move, and I'll not have the third one. Yeah. So jump to a camp or a corner. There's no camps have come out. But I'll go to this corner, hopefully for later on. It'll help me out. Cart moves. We find a camp. And the goblin. Is he on coal? He is. So if he's on coal, he is going to move down here and he is going to call. Find every card that is adjacent to the one occupied by the goblin and determine if any of them contain matching resources to the goblin card. Any mine cards that do match are rotated clockwise until they are aligned to face the goblin's location. So they are. Unfortunately, he moved himself off the space. If this had contained gold, though, he has got actions that allow him to gobble, which is get a load of gems and stuff. He collects them too. He's going to get in my way. I'm not going to be able to load anything this turn. But I am scared and keeping my distance. Okay, I'm going to move, swap, rotate. Cart moves. Nothing to refill. Goblin. Is he on gold? Yes. Oh, he is going to swap. He's going to swap the card that is adjacent to the direction of this little arrow in the middle. You see there's an arrow facing up there? He's going to swap his card going up. That stopped me being able to load a card next time. He rides along with the card, and then he is going to move over here. He's coming to find me. He's going to... Don't mess up my lovely gold run. Right. I've got no actions down here that are going to let me jump to the cart. I'm going to go 1, 2, line in some things up for the future turns. And 3. Move. Goblin. Is he on gems? Yes. He is going to swap with my lovely gold card. Of course he is. And go over here. Okay. Move. Rotate. Load. So there's a couple. Then I'm not on the sign. Move the cart. Event time. Rock slide. Shuffle this column in. That could be good. We might get some gold now. Shuffle this column into the deck. And then replace it. Actually might work out well because he messed up my gold run, but I imagine he's going to mess it up even more now. He's standing on it. Why can't he get back? Well, I don't want him to be down here where I am. So you can see already, like in chapter 1, that would have been an amazing thing to wait for the minecart to come around to. But in chapter 2, there's someone messing about with it. Okay. So what have we got? We've got some gold away from it. Oh, I think I've kind of... Well, we could get that one back up. I've slightly done that in the wrong order. Just go along row to row. Okay, we have got something that can be collected now. So we moved the cart, we refilled the mine. Goblin. Is he on gold? Yes. Oh, he's gonna... Oh, no, he's gonna take it. Gobble, beginning with the space occupied by the goblin and extending outward, determine the longest resource chain. If there are multiple that break the tie, he wants gems, then gold, then coal. Flip the card that the goblin occupies face down, as well as every other card that's part of that chain. So my lovely gold chain. I've got to run over and reveal all of that stuff now, haven't I? But that's where he is still. He hasn't... Oh no, and he's going to hunt. He's going to move a space closer to me. Make sure you do all of his actions. Okay, so I can still load something this turn. I can still load something next turn. One. Rotate. Oh, this has got... Oh no. Now the gems are going to get loaded. I did it just for the coal. Because I wanted the +2 move to get over there. Maybe I won't do that. One, two, reveal. Oh no, not reveal. I want to load. Yeah, so we're at least getting something this turn. And then we can start revealing as we come back around. Okay, goblin time. And is he on gems? Yes. He is going to swap to over there. That puts my gold back, doesn't it? And then he's going to move over there, out my way. Clear off. Couple of cards there will do me just fine. I could have just rotated it and not loaded and then had these 3 cards next time. But yeah, we've done it now. Well, I have my swap 2 adjacent. I don't think I wanted to swap 2 adjacent. I didn't do it anyway. I'm going to reveal. Reveal. Move. Oh no, not move. Load. Minecart moves. Card. Card. Could have swapped 2 adjacent, but again, it will be these ones. I don't want to swap these ones. And then Goblin before you do your turns again. Is he on gold? Yes. He's going to swap. He's coming back. But he is going away. He's just trying to lure me over there, isn't he? I do want to come over there. 1. Reveal. So that's 2. And then load for 3. Minecart moves. Fill back up. Goblin. Is he on gems? Yes. He's going to swap up and then move up. He can't do that. So he will do... That's the first time he's not been able to do something. So he is going to call. So he looks at the adjacent cards and see do they contain gems. And then move the gems so that they're facing his card. It's not going to help him, but he's not to know that, is he? Right. So we've got a good load up there. I could swap twice and then load even more, but I'm next to the goblin. But I feel like, how many cards have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I mean, I know there's 4 more turns, but I feel like I've got to take risks. It's just if he does a hunt action, I'm dead and I get nothing. I don't even know what's coming up in the future turns. We're going to swap. We're going to swap. We're going to load all of this gold. But I am next to the goblin. Minecart moves. Event. Rock slide. This column gets shuffled in. to the deck. So yeah, this could all affect what the Goblin's doing as well. We don't know what his next card is, but this might have changed what his action was. I can't remember what was on the tile that's just been moved away. But a hunt or a move down is curtains for me. But I knew the risk. Right. So we've got a campsite tile. Jump to the corner. That's what I want to be doing. Not good for me loading in future. The Goblin. Is he on gold? Yes. He is going to collect all the gold in the long... Oh, actually, he'll collect. He can turn face down that I'm on, can't he? I'm not sure, actually. I think he would flip face down the card that I'm on still. So that's not too bad, and then moves up. But he can't move up. That can't be performed, so skip it. Yeah, it's only if he can't do either of the things in the box that he does that one that would have ended the game. Look how wonky I've made the mine go. There's been a lot of movement. Okay, so he can get that this turn. We want to try and build up something in a future turn. So this action here is you can do a load action with a wild card. You can pretend something in this chain is a resource that you need. Unfortunately here, getting the resource action would be nice. One, rotate. 3, do the load action. Can't do an extra wild because nothing's connected to it. Move up. Get a new card. Goblin is now away from me a bit. Is he on gems? I don't know. I think we would say no if they're face down, would we? Whoops. Bear with me a second. Hello, hello. Right. So the resource isn't present anymore because it's face down, actually. He usually moves away, but he couldn't, could he? Because he was going to move up. So I'd say he's not on it. So he's going to rotate it this way and move around. Okay. I can load that card, but it won't connect to anything. I'm going to go 1, 2, load. Just load that card on. Next time I want to swap, so there's a nice chain of 3 gems there. I don't know what I'll do for the last turn. I don't know if I can get 30. I've got extra actions, but I'm scared to use anything. We might need to do swap location adjacent to the cart. Do extra actions next time, maybe, for these gems? Let's see what we can do. So the Cart moves. New card. Rotate 2 adjacents. There's another gem as well. Oh, so I could do a gem now that's further away, but I would have to rotate it, would be the downside. The goblin. Default to X when the goblin card's flipped over. Thank you. So instead of doing that, he should have moved down and not rotated that. So this time, it's flipped over, so he's going to move back up. Oh, that's good. He was really on the hunt for me for a while. I'm glad he's cooled off that. So we can just go up, swap. That's a nice 3. But what next time? I mean, we could try and move it all up. But we've got 1 guaranteed, haven't we, for next time? We're going to need those 2 extra actions, aren't we? Leave that one there, because that is something we can collect. There are gems near it. This coal isn't going to help us. Move. Swap. Rotate. And then we'll have the 2 extra actions. I'll load. And I'll stand here for whatever the new card's going to be. I'll stand here and then I'll load. So, hey Shiffy, how's it going? Oh, thanks, Monica. Hopefully, I do you proud in the final count. There's another 3. It's feeling like a decent pile. Not like high score pile, but hopefully not a losing pile. Right. New cards come out. And the goblin is going to... He's on here again. Oh, he's just moving down. He's next to me again. But that's okay. I haven't moved the cart along. And finally, I don't know this game. This is on Kickstarter right now. So it's like we've got a grid of cards that make up the mine. And on your turn, you're in the mine. You can move around it, and you can rotate and swap cards that are adjacent. And so you're trying to form big paths of gems of the same type. Well, of materials of the same type. So you've got gems, coal, and gold. And yeah, for an action, you can load the entire chain that's facing your minecart. And in the default mode, every card is a point that you can get. I'm playing the solo mode where we're trying to get 30 points. So in chapter 1 that I did earlier, it's just the grid, and that's it. You're just trying to play against yourself. There are events in each of the corners that happen every now and then, cause cave-ins, make columns disappear, things like that. But yeah, in this one, we've also got a goblin that's following us around, messing the grid up, and if he goes on our space, he eats us. That's kind of what's going on now. Mind-boggling, exactly. So, I think the best that we can do... I wish I had my 2 extra actions now. I can rotate what I'm on and swap, and then load. That's it, isn't it? Or we could just move up and rotate it. If I have my 2 more actions now, I could have rotated both and swapped them around enough, but I can't anymore. So we'll just load these 2 on. And that's that. We go out to the mine. How many did I get? I wonder if I got more than last time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. What was I talking about that it felt like a bigger pile? We got 32 last time. It's 5 shorter. So, no, I can't blame it all on the goblin. I can blame it on my fear of the goblin. For a while where he was hunting me down here, Yeah, I ended up down this corner when the mine wasn't picking up anything on turns because nothing much was facing it. And yeah, although I got a couple of good chains going in there, it was too little too late to gamble all of those in. But hey, 1-1 is not too bad, is it? So there is, in my prototype, there is a third chapter that we're not going to have time to do again. But yeah, it's called Gnome or Tears. The times are getting desperate for a gnome out of luck. With the mine having been closed for so long, there aren't many options left for miners. Why are they still keeping the mine boarded up anyway? Rumours are the owners actually now keep the goblin as a pet. Well, you're left with no choice but to start your cart and sneak into the mine for some quick riches. So, we would set up the same as before, me in this corner, the goblin asleep down in this corner. But now, an extra gnome, the other player's gnome figure, which I would use as mine, but I thought the orange would stand out more against my background. So the goblin works as usual. He has to wake up after that first turn. But every time we draw a goblin card in this third chapter, the mine owner resolves the card first, and then the goblin does it. Every time as soon as the owner has moved away from this location, the goblin comes on, and then the card affects both of them for the rest of the game. So there's 2 people in your way this time. The mine owner behaves like in a similar way, but yeah, they want to be on separate sections. If the cards ever make them move onto the same card together, you would do this one instead. And if the mine owner ever lands on your space, he kicks you back to the entrance and retrieves all the resources you've collected. So yeah, that would be pretty terrible. It's not as bad as completely losing the game, but in terms of getting a winning score, it might very well be. Yeah, your card stays where it is, and you shuffle all the resource cards you've collected back to the bottom of the deck. You lose if the goblin eats you, or you fail to collect 25 cards. So the goal is lower, but yeah, you've got a lot to contend with. You've got 2 people roaming around the mine, messing it up for you. And yeah, if one of them reaches your space, you're eaten, you're dead. And if the other reaches your space, it kicks you out and takes all of the lovely things that you have gathered. So that's the 3 chapters that there are for solo. You can play this cooperatively as well. There's a few tweaks for that. You can play it competitively, where you both have minecarts on kind of opposite ways, and you get half the number of turns because there's 2 people affecting how the mine is, but you've got opposing goals. You are trying to build chains for yourself while still trying not to help the other player, not put something in line that they could go and do on their turn that would line something quite nicely up for where their minecart is. And there are no events, but what the other players are doing, even if they're not trying to, they're probably going to mess you up in some way because the mine's getting rotated and shuffled about and stuff. And as I said, like the box that you can get plays 1 to 2 players, but if you get another box, then you can play with 3 to 4 players as well by building a bigger grid. There's it's all laid out in the rulebook how it all works out. So then you've got more space to work in, but then there's potentially 4 people going and messing the mine about. So this is Mind Your Business. It is on Kickstarter right now. The link to the campaign is in the description, where you can get hold of it and make it happen and all of that good stuff. As I said, this is a prototype. The card's probably very representative of what the final thing will be like, but you can see on the Kickstarter page the lovely meeples for the gnomes and the goblins and all of that lovely stuff. And I think that is it from me tonight. I hope you've enjoyed our little our double playthrough. Our double go through down in the mines. You win some, you lose some, as it happened tonight. But yeah, I think that's pretty good going. I think not quite the giddy heights of Major Minor, but didn't get eaten. Almost got eaten. I took a couple of risks. I got right next to the goblin when I didn't need to, but I did need to. I needed to try and get those extra few points. I think one of the only reasons I won that first game as well is umming and ahhing too much about everything. That great big chain that came out at the end really saved me, didn't it? But anyway, yes, thank you so much everyone for being here. Thank you so much, Matthew, for getting in touch with me in the first place. Head over to the Kickstarter page if you'd like to see more and see how you can get hold of it and make it all happen and stuff. I will be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. UK time, BST, and I'll be playing the brand new Iron Games Discordia. But for now, you've been lovely. Have a lovely rest of the night and stuff, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye, everyone. Bye, bye, bye.